Hi, my name is Tara, and I'm a junior education major.
Hi, my name is Leya Tara. I'm a sophomore education major, and this is my story of how I came to Christ.
My mom and Annie Hurdle started kindergarten together, and they became pretty good friends, and they ended up staying good friends all the way till high school. And after they graduated, their lives ended up taking them different directions.
I met Tara my freshman year of high school, and our families were really excited for us to get to know one another because they had literally grown up together. Our mothers were best friends and all the way through elementary school to high school. So they were excited for us to be on the same team. But my freshman year, I made a totally different team than Tara because freshmen couldn't be on co-ed, whatever. But then my sophomore year, I actually ended up making co-ed, so we were on the same team, and I was really excited to get to know everyone and get to know Tara, most of all, because I had heard of her from so many other people, because Tara was just this shining star at Blue Springs, and people just loved her, and she was an awesome cheerleader.
I remember first meeting Leah. It was at a cheerleading tryout, and I was walking around prejudging who was going to make my team. Yeah, I say my team because in high school, I thought I owned everything, especially the cheerleading squad.
Tara's junior year rolls around, and she is actually not allowed to be captain of the cheer squad. But no one told her that, apparently, because she ran us like she owned us. It was ridiculous. She was so many things. What's the word for it? I don't know. Bossy, controlling, spawn of the devil-esque. One moment, Tara would be screaming at us at the top of her lungs, just pushing us harder and harder, farther than we ever thought we could go. And the next moment, she's being super nice and giving us heartfelt speeches about how we're just gonna rock state competition. I just couldn't figure Tara out. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't figure out. One moment she was happy, one moment she wasn't. I didn't know how to handle it.
You know when you first meet somebody and you just can tell you're not going to like them?
At this point, Tara and I didn't exactly get along. We kind of rubbed each other the wrong way.
I just put off those bad vibes.
I can't exactly put my finger on what it was, but it didn't go well.
Stay away from me. Well, that was Leah, and those were her vibes. So we had cheerleading tryouts, and it came to the point where they posted everybody's names on the door who made the squads, and I was very excited to see, and so I pushed my way through the front, not really caring if I made the squad because I of course knew I made it. I was just curious to see who was all on my team, and of course Leah's name had to be on there.
Also, it's my junior year, and I start to realize that I can voice my opinion and have a little pull on the team. Tara didn't really like that. She got a little upset with me, and that was really when it started to get rough.
We spotted the ocean.
Tara and I had totally different friend groups. We were like on opposite ends of the spectrum, and we both had one thing in common though. We liked to go out and have a good time and do the party scene. Over our high school career together, Tara and I both formed certain opinions of one another, and they weren't the best opinions.
Second semester of my junior year is mostly over. Things in my house were getting worse and worse, and I would just show up to practice as early as I can to just get out of the house. And I don't know, cheerleading seemed to be the only thing I could control. And like the more I fell deeper into depression, the meaner I got, and the people around me are the people I took it out on. One night things at home started getting heated, more heated than normal. I could hear my parents fighting, and things in the kitchen were breaking. I heard my dad coming down the hallway, and so I quickly pretended I was asleep. The words that I always wanted to hear but never thought they would come finally came, and he just told us to get out.
Walk on the ocean.
And it was scary in that moment. I only had seconds to get out of my house, and I grabbed my phone charger and my phone, and my mom and I just started walking.
Walk on the ocean. Step on.
We ended up having to go into hiding for a little bit because just my dad was going crazy and we just had to get away. It came around a time where cheerleading practice was about ready to roll in, and I just begged and begged my mom to let me go because that was my out. That's what I knew the most. And she finally let me go, and I think at that moment, that was the first time my cheerleading squad has really ever seen me vulnerable or crying at any time. School was rough. I felt very alone and didn't really know what to do. I was lost and confused. A couple weeks later, after all that happened, one of my friends in one of my classes just came up and just asked me if I wanted to go to church with him. And I looked at him like he was crazy. I was like, why would anybody want me at a church? Like, do you know my life? And I don't know what it was, but at that moment I was just like, yeah, I'll go. And I can tell you that's the best decision I've ever made. The undivided love and attention that people I didn't even know gave me there was awesome. It was the best feeling ever, and it captivated me, and I wanted more, and I kept going back week after week. My life started to change. It wasn't like right away, but it was more gradual. Just really trying to see the worth and value my life had, and getting to know the Lord really helped with that. The change was gradual. Like I said, I started becoming a nicer person, and even at practice I started becoming more of a person and not just a dictator, more so saying. That summer really changed my life. I made the decision to go to church camp. At that church camp, that's the moment I decided to give my life to the Lord. Words can't express the feelings or emotions that I went through. All I can say is it changed my life forever. The change inside continued, but cheerleading was the last thing I was willing to hand over to God. For so long, it was the only thing I can control, and I just wasn't ready to let go yet. Going to nationals, I can just honestly say I had my first true memory of Leya.
We had one shining moment together, and I say only one because there was literally only one.
We were walking and all of a sudden we see a sign for Dino Land.
And we actually ended up with picture proof of this moment. Who would have guessed? But we had dinosaur tails. We went to Dino Land and Disney World and just had a blast.
There is this game, and you know, like where you squirt water and you have to hit the bullseye and then you win a prize. Well, that's the game that we played, and you could win a dinosaur. So this is how I remember it. It's like an old Western movie. Right before there's a shoot-off, and everything around us just gets dark, and it's just Leya, me, and the dinosaurs. And it was on like Donkey Kong. The guy was like, 1, 2, 3, go! And we were focused on that bullseye. After a while, okay, maybe it was like 10 seconds, the bell rang.
So at the end of the day, we ended up both having dinosaurs, and that was probably one of my fondest memories of Tara.
That moment in Dino Land was the only positive part of our relationship.
That's really it where the good times end, though.
And I really thought that was going to be the last time I would ever have to see or talk to Leya.
It was fun while it lasted, but after that moment, I never really thought of Tara ever again. We both had our shallow perceptions of one another, and we just stuck with those.